Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Taylor's Travels. We're kicking this one off in Spice Island Marine, in the beautiful island of Grenada. We left Gypsy Moon on the hard here and cannot say enough good things about it. With 24-hour security, laundry, and services like electronics, sailmaking, rigging, and welding, plus a marine store right on the property that you can find basically anything you need. As far as boatyards go, I'd say this one's pretty hard to beat. Oh yeah, and did I mention they also have a waterfront bar and restaurant with a dinghy dock. Now we are in the boatyard back in Grenada. It feels really good to be back. Just going to check on Gypsy Moon for the first time. It's been closed up on the hard for quite a few months now, and we are going to open up the door and just see what she looks like in there, check on things, see how everything's going. It's going to be quite a bit of work here in the boatyard for the next couple of weeks, just kind of fixing things. And we left the boat kind of in shambles. We're in a rush to leave, and so yeah, just cleaning things up, prepping it, moving back in, doing some work. So it's going to be a busy time, but it should make for some great content for you guys. There she is. So we've got some new Taylor's Travels merch. It's got the logo on there. On the front side it says, "Live your adventure."
Taylor's Travels shop.
Yeah, check it out. All right, let's get in here. It's good to be back. It's looking relatively good, except for that. We had tried to cover up the hatch because it was leaking a bit, but that didn't last too long.
Not the greatest job you've ever seen.
Bird's nest.
What we got in there? No birds. Otherwise, he's not looking too shabby.
Yeah. Still nice and full of air.
How's she look?
So far it's looking just like we left her. Oh. Definitely smells a little musty in here.
It definitely does.
Lots of mold on the seats and everything. A couple of cobwebs in here. We did leave these like moisture damp traps, but I didn't have anybody changing them out, so they're all pretty full, which is probably why there's quite a bit of mold and moisture up in here. Yeah, I mean, everything looks pretty good. It's just gonna be a lot of work getting all the mold. Just a lot of bleach.
We're gonna get into everything steering and rudder related. We're gonna pull all this stuff back apart, and aside from redoing the rudder and making it look normal and functional again, is we need to repack the packing nut for the rudder. The lock nut does just not stay tight. So we're gonna pull all that apart, get every lick of corrosion off of everything, and then get new packing again after we finish the rudder, put it all back in, and pray that it stops leaking. That's our #1 mission for being in this yard, is making that knock it off.
She's on the ground.
Yeah, you can put it on the ground.
I'm just saying it can't come out.
Oh, it's hitting the ground.
Yeah. Ha ha. Okay, so we've got our surface prepped and ready. So what we've established with this little contraption is we're trying to fill in this kind of gap, because that's where the rudder comes to on the other side. So we've built this kind of wall to hopefully hold all the gel coat in and fill all of that nicely. But now we've got to mix it up.
So what we're gonna do here is you're gonna take your gel coat, comes with your catalyst, And depending on the percentage that you want to mix it at, there are different amounts of the MEKP, this is called. We figured out our ratio. We're gonna do an 8-ounce pour in this cup, and then...
They ran out of mixing cups at the hardware store, so we've got the styrofoam
yeah,
cup.
so we'll see if that doesn't melt or anything.
This cup feels very unstable. Okay, this is bad. This is really bad. We've sprung a leak. So it turns out that this does in fact eat away at styrofoam.
Just go ahead and drop that whole thing right in there. Take those gloves off. As I thought might occur, the styrofoam melted, so...
Oh God.
That was the best we had.
Round 2, in a plastic cup this time. While we're waiting for the gel coat to cure and dry on the rudder, we are now moving on to this hatch. It's been quite a problem for leaking, and also it has one of those solar kind of vents that has a fan in it, and that one is broken and doesn't work. Kiki scored on Facebook Marketplace.
The best spot. You can always find a good grab there.
With this guy right here. So we're taking out the old, putting in the new, Sikaflexing the shit out of this, and then also putting in some new foam sort of gasket. The pane of glass is out, and we're basically just removing all of this old grimy Sikaflex, which really wasn't doing a whole lot, and you can see how much like dirt and scum is in here, so we're gonna get that all clean.
Yeah, basically just get it as clean as we can. We're gonna have to give everything a little bit of a scuff, called building a profile on the materials so that when we put the new Sikaflex on, it in theory will adhere.
Everything with the boat seems to be going one step forward, 2 steps back. A lot of our jobs that we have to do are kind of outside related, and it has been raining for the last 4 days. The forecasted weather for the next 10 days predicts rain every single day. It's pretty frustrating because, you know, we're trying to get everything done and get in the water as quickly as we can, but it just seems to be setback after setback. So one of the things that I'm kind of learning to do to deal with that and to manage that a little bit better is writing things down. I find writing things down really helps kind of quantify sort of what you have to do, and physically writing it down, I prefer to do it that way on paper rather than like notes on my phone or something. I find it kind of therapeutic actually physically writing things down, and then you also get that sense of reward when you physically cross it off your checklist, and then you get that sense of accomplishment, like you've done something and you're one step closer towards your goal. I'll show you guys a little bit of what our to-do list looks like right now. Kind of have things delegated between inside the boat. So we've installed the fans, there's a new hatch vent, there's a couple things. We have to still cross off a few things. Some of these have gotten done just because we've been staying inside so much. And then outside the boat, this is the big one that we haven't been able to really cross much off the list because of the weather. Alright, so you can see this is kind of how much we've filled. We're close to meeting that, but we might have to add a little bit more. But despite the rain, it dried up nice and hard, and it's looking alright.
A lot of sanding.
Yeah, there's still, you know, that much of a gap that we got to fill to make that nice and level. But
Wow, we got a lot of sanding.
so this is boatyard life, and some of the downsides and why we're trying to work so hard to get out of here as soon as possible is it's not the greatest. You know, you got to walk up and down the ladder to get on your boat every time. Can't go to the bathroom, so that's what we're doing right now, is walking to the bathroom. It gets pretty old not being able to use your boat to its full potential. And yeah, I think we're excited to get out of here.
It'll happen eventually. Yeah.
But we're checking things off the list and we've come a long way.
So we've gotten everything sanded and ready for the Sikaflex to be put on, but we got to do a little tape job here to make sure it's nice and clean and it just fits in the seam nicely. So yeah, basically we've got all this scuffed up, taped off. Got to clean some things up, get it ready. The other side's already sanded. We'll finish this up, cut it all out, and then put the Sikaflex in and cross our fingers.
Okay, so the next project we are working on is here in the galley. So what used to be here, well, we'll start from the beginning. Originally, there is a track in here that used to be similar to this. So these kind of sliding things which get stuck and annoying used to be in here. And then the previous owners put in, basically this is just like a piece of baseboard or trim, and it was done in there with like finishing nails. So anytime you had to kind of like pull things in or out, you were at risk of just like ripping this whole thing out. So we're gonna redesign it, and our alternative that we've come up with is this kind of bungee, stretchy cord to go across here to hold everything in, but it's stretchy so you can pull things out if you need to, and it should keep everything safe and secure so that when we're sailing, stuff doesn't go flying everywhere.
Voila!
Here you have it, folks. Oh my god. Kiki, what is that?
It's wonderful! It's the sun.
Oh my god.
We haven't seen this thing in days.
Sunshine! Clear skies! We finally had a break in the clouds and a little bit of a clear day. The weather says that we've only got until about 5 o'clock before it starts raining, so we are going to take full advantage of it and try to be as extremely productive as we can.
Okay, so my mission is to accomplish one of the most critical things in boating. A lot of boats generally don't operate properly without these, so we need to get this installed. We're putting speakers in the cockpit. Already did the deck or head unit the other day. That wiring is set. We've got to run the wiring up into here. We're gonna put a speaker here, speaker here.
The most exciting thing of all, I'm sure you can see this tattered bimini that has been bothering so many of you. I know I've gotten lots of comments about this. It's finally being replaced. That's all going to be done by the folks at Sunshine Canvas, and they're going to be making a new Dodger as well and kind of redesigning it a little bit so we have better visibility and we can open it up to get some air in here. And yeah, all in all, that's probably one of the things that I'm most excited about, is not having this frickin' bimini flapping around.
All right, the moment of truth.
Hey. We've got to test fit it. Now inside, it's kind of hard to see in here, but there's this little hump here, so we're hoping that that clears it. Fingers crossed.
Beautiful. Now, Fusion, why we went with Fusion, the quality of their speakers is great, but also they actually use a quality seal on these. So instead of caulking it in, because caulking can get brittle over time, you know, maybe use silicone or something like that, but I don't like doing it. So we're gonna pre-drill our holes to mount this, and we're going to actually see how these gaskets will function. And we're gonna drill our holes out, fill those in with caulking, bring this in, and hopefully let the gasket just do its job. As long as you get a nice flat surface for it all to sit, it should, in theory, keep the water out. So we're gonna give that a shot.
The wires come from the deck here. We're gonna have to fish it up through there into the head here, right?
Yep, so it comes in here, we got a little hole, and then we gotta somehow snake it up through, under all of this, back up over to here.
The unfortunate thing is that all of this ceiling is all one molded piece, so there's really no access, so it makes it tricky to fish things. All right, so Kiki has fished it up through here. Dun, 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 dun. I can see it right in there. Got it.
Okay.
Our right side speaker wire here, that is going to be for this one. Now we have to get this side through the roof and around over to there. Kiki's feeding it through the light there.
Don't mind this.
And let's see. Oh, there she be. Boom. Voila. Yep, you're right here. Got it. Oh! Look at that thing of beauty. Woo. Now, I've got to test the sound.
For the moment of truth here. All right, we got juice. And then what do we do here? We go something like that. Discoverable. All right, you should be able to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gotta do yes. Are you yesed? Did you yes?
Yep. Okay, so we dropped the anchor down. We've got the chain laid out in 25-foot lengths. I'm gonna paint it up.
Got to do a little bit more work, but just got everything sanded up, and the rudder is almost ready. So just got to clean some things up, hit it with a little denatured to get it nice and spiffy, and then gonna hit it with a little bit of paint.
Well, splash day is quickly approaching. Might be another day or two, and hopefully we'll be getting in the water. So Kiki's been working his butt off getting this rudder to be nice and smooth and strong, layer after layer of gel coat, and now we're finally ready to paint it. The only thing is they didn't have the right color of blue bottom paint to match what's under here, and the only other blue that they had was almost $200 more, so we just got black. So we're gonna have a little two-tone action going on, but who really cares? So what's the process here, Keek?
Slap it on. We're gonna do a coat or two here, and then we're gonna roll it over, do the other side, put the rudder in, and then do a coat until we've got none left. So hopefully we'll get at least 2 coats on everything.
And this is, I think, the 3rd time we've tried to repack this.
Yep.
And we're hoping that this one is the one that's gonna do the trick.
It was in a fresh sealed package. Had to go to 2 different stores to find it because no one, of course, has the correct size. But we found it, and hopefully it's gonna work.
My new name for this girl is Bruiser, because we're gonna have the black and the blue. So you might recall from when we were taking the rudder out that we were hammering the ground with the hammer, trying to dig the hole to get it out. Luckily, we found a shovel, so it should make it easier, but in order to kind of get it under here and get it in and lined up, she needs a hole.
Thanks, Dane, for the shovel. What's going on? Ryan!
Lucky coincidence, while we were in the boatyard, these guys, Ryan and Brittany from the YouTube channel Sailing Sunday, rolled up into the boatyard, and yeah, we kind of became friends, we've been hanging out.
Yeah, we're literally just right there chucking beers to each other.
Hi Jackson! What are you doing? He's a good boy.
Say hello.
We met Ryan downstairs,
Yeah.
Brittany's counterpart.
So as we travel, we foster little babies and rescue and try and bring home as much as we can. So these guys were rescued from Carriacou. Their mom has a pretty horrible story, but needless to say, they were left orphaned. So we've been bottle feeding them, and now we're looking for homes for them.
And me and Kiki are very, very tempted.
We're hoping we can persuade.
Look at them!
Aren't they so sweet? Oh, and that's our little tripod downstairs.
Oh, we gotta get him. Stitch, what are you doing? So he, as you can tell here, is a little tripod. You're missing a leg, aren't you, buddy? But you're a good boy.
Alright, I'm gonna rock it up, and then you just wanna grab the other side. All I'm trying to avoid is it like just feeding that mud hole out. So if we can just like caress it in there.
Hopefully I dug the hole deep enough.
It looks like you did. Alright, here we come. We're coming in.
Yeah. Whoa.
Is it going to or no?
It's pretty close. You need a little bit more out.
You know what? I've been here before.
Ryan. There you go. You're in.
There you go.
We're in.
Oh, that didn't sound good.
There we go.
It looks real easy.
Yeah, there you go.
Come down a hair.
Drop it down a little bit.
Okay, wait, yeah, that's good. Keep it there.
It's a little dick joke.
I heard something about a dick joke down here.
Yay! Yay!
So you gotta do the whole like.
Yeah! Yeah! Thanks, team. Appreciate it. Alright, guys, today is a very exciting day. And before we get into things, I just really want to share a little bit about Precision Sails with you. So, Precision Sails has been with me since the beginning, since I had my very first Tanzer 26. And they've been huge supporters of mine, long-term sponsors, and now great friends. Not only that, the quality of the sails and some of the amazing designs that they've been able to incorporate. Just super rad. So if you ever need new sails for your boat, Precision Sails should be the first place that you go to look for those. Last season, I got the brand new head sail with the cool Taylor's Travels logo on it. And now this season, we are working on putting on the brand new mainsail. I believe the sail that is on here, the mainsail, is original to the boat. So it's coming up on almost 30 years old. It's very stretched out. It's kind of like a bed sheet and doesn't really do a whole lot. So I am beyond stoked to get fresh, crispy new sails on. Okay, we got the old one off. And now Kiki is going to be up here keeping this track in while I am inside winching it out. So, I am very sweaty and sunburnt, blistered, but probably the most satisfying part of the day is throwing out this old, tattered Bimini.
Get it going. That didn't work.
That didn't really work very well.
At least got the effect. That was correct.
That feels good. And that garbage stinks. Well guys, today is the big day. It's Splash Day! We worked really hard, checked a ton of things off the list, and the rudder I think is as good as it's ever been.
Yeah, B-hole's a little tight today, but...
They're gonna put us in and we'll stay in the slings and just check the rudder packing and check everything and make sure it's all good. But yeah, once we're in the water, there's a couple more little odd jobs to do, and then we'll be ready to be cruising. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking seeing your boat like lifted up in the air and wobbling.
I don't see anything. Do you guys see anything? I don't see anything. Oh God. Yes, are we in the water? Yes. Got a little bit of a leak coming in there. As per usual. So, gonna have to tighten that up.